Hey, what is going on guys? My name is Gamertag and I'm back for another Fortnite video. In today's video, I'll actually be sharing with you guys how you can get stretch resolution on console Fortnite. So you can use this on both the Xbox One as well as the PlayStation 4. Obviously, stretch resolution has gained its notoriety from PC players, and the main reason it took off so quickly was because of the advantages and benefits that it brought with it. So for the longest time, console players have been wondering if they're able to get stretch resolution and how they can possibly do so. So today I'll be sharing with you guys a method on how to do it for both consoles. I've actually made a few videos about this in the past, and the last one I made was about half a year ago, and since then there's actually a little bit of an updated method. So this is why I'm recreating this video to update with you guys a kind of newer method to go about this, as well as answer some very frequently asked questions. Without wasting any time, let's go ahead and hop right into this. So I'm going to start with the Xbox One console first, and then I'm going to be sharing with the PS4 players how they can do it on the PlayStation 4. So starting out again with the Xbox One, it's actually very simple. So starting out for Xbox One, you simply want to go ahead and press the Xbox button on your controller. We're then going to go all the way to the right towards the system, and then we're going to click on settings. After you have clicked on settings, we actually want to go over to the right in the general tab and click on TV and display options. You guys should now be in the screen where there's actually three columns. There's going to be the display column, the setup column, as well as the advanced. So we're going to all the way to the right towards advanced and click on video fidelity and overscan. From here, you guys can see to the left where it says display, click on overrides, and there's going to be two options. It's going to be HDMI as well as DVI. So basically, you simply want to switch it to the opposite setting at what you had. So if you're already on HDMI, you simply want to switch it over to DVI. And by doing this, you guys will actually now be converted over into the stretch resolution. You guys can see on the screen now. Unfortunately, I have to use my iPhone to actually record this part because for whatever reason, Elgato, which is what I use to record my gameplay, is unable to actually record this exact resolution. So this is why it switched over to my iPhone, just to show you guys that it does in fact work. Now, one of the main things you'll notice right off the bat is that the quality has declined rapidly. And obviously, this is one of the things that you have to sacrifice in order to use stretch resolution. The same went for PC players. When you switch to stretch resolution, you are going to see a decline in quality. Now, if you made the switch over to DVI and for whatever reason your screen actually remained black and did not switch back to the game and showed a stretch resolution, the reason is because your monitor or TV is actually unable to display that resolution. So unfortunately, this probably will happen to maybe like 1% of people. It's extremely rare for this to even be an issue. But again, if it doesn't show up, it's just because your monitor or TV is not able to display that resolution. So in order to get your gameplay back, you simply do not want to press any buttons and just wait for about 15 seconds and it'll actually revert back to your regular screen. And of course, you'll be able to see everything again. However, if you're about like 99% of people that have tried this, it will actually work. Now, for the people that want to have a little bit better of quality, and shout out to the person that commented this, that has actually helped me quite a bit. Basically, over here to the right where it says video fidelity, there's going to be two options. There's going to be color depth as well as color space. We want to start by clicking on color depth. Once you click on it, you guys can go all the way to the bottom where it says 36 bits per pixel. And basically, this will actually somehow, some way, I'm not entirely sure what it controls, it does actually increase the quality a little bit. Obviously, it's not going to change everything drastically. It's not going to show high definition, but it certainly does increase the quality noticeably from what it originally was at with the previous setting. And believe it or not, it is that simple to get stretch resolution on Xbox. Now, for the people that want to revert it back, it's very simple. You want to go back to video fidelity and overscan. You then want to switch the overscan from DVI back to HDMI. From here, we're going to back out and go to the display setting where it says resolution, and then switch this to either 720 or 1080p, and everything will be back to normal. Obviously, this is for the people that obviously want to revert back to their original settings, maybe if they weren't a fan of stretch resolution. So now I'll be sharing with my PlayStation 4 players how you can actually get stretch res on PS4, which, believe it or not, is actually a lot simpler than the Xbox One console. So for PS4, we're going to start by clicking the PlayStation button on our controller, or simply going to the PlayStation menu. We're actually going to go over to our settings. From here, we're going to click on the setting that says display and sound. Obviously, from here, we're now going to click on the display area settings. Now, once you have done this, it's actually going to bring you to a screen where you have two options. Those options will be shrink as well as expand or enlarge, whichever it says. Now, contrary to popular belief and what you probably thought, we're not going to be expanding it. We're simply going to be clicking shrink. So click shrink as much as you possibly can. Repeat this over and over again. Just constantly click it until it does not allow you guys to click it anymore. Once you have strengthened it all the way, we simply now want to go ahead and apply the settings and back out. Just like for Xbox One, it should now preview a stretch resolution. Now, once again, if it does not work and if your screen is black for whatever reason, it is likely due to the fact that your TV or monitor simply does not support that resolution. Once again, the only way to even fix this is to go out and buy a new TV or monitor, but in reality, in my personal opinion, it's definitely not worth it to go ahead and spend a ton of money on something just for stretch res on Fortnite. So that's all you have to do in order to get stretch res on PS4, believe it or not. It's way simpler than the Xbox console. However, unlike Xbox, there's no other settings we can turn on or turn off or change that will actually allow us to increase our quality a lot. So basically, again, keep in mind that once you do make the switch over to stretch res on either console, the quality is going to decline rapidly. I mean, essentially, again, that is a sacrifice that you are making. For some people, they're unable to get over the quality loss, so they'd rather play on regular HD. So if that's you, feel free to still play on HD. I do not blame you whatsoever. But do not worry, especially at the start, it might seem very unnatural, but once you get used to it, honestly, it's not even something that should bother you. At least for me, that was the case. After like a couple hours of using stretch res, I literally was unbothered by the quality loss. Now, one of the most common things that I'm asked in regards to stretch res on console is what are the advantages, or is there any advantages to begin with when using stretch resolution on either console? So basically, of course, with PC, the main reason people use stretch res was because of the advantages it brought with it. And to be honest, there was like 15. I mean, there's a whole list of advantages and benefits you would get from using stretch res on PC, and majority of those were game performance. Now, with console, obviously, we don't get as many advantages as PC, but believe it or not, we still do get some advantages that I've noticed, and definitely you guys probably more than likely will notice as well. One of the main things that we don't get, unfortunately, is a boost in FPS. Unfortunately, as we know, console Fortnite, both Xbox One as well as PS4, are capped at 60 frames per second. So unlike PC, there's no way, nothing we can do to anything that will allow us to get more than 60 FPS on either console. So again, that's one of the advantages that we are unable to receive on console. Regardless, as stated, we still do get some advantages. One of the main things that I noticed and that I loved about stretch res on console was the input delay response. Now, basically, input delay refers to when you press a button on a controller and then how long it takes for the console or game rather to register that button. So with stretch resolution on, whenever you press any button, let's say you press A or X to jump, it would react literally immediately in the game. And this is likely due to the fact that with stretch res, it's putting less of a stress on the console itself. So again, the input delay time is way lower, a lot better actually when using stretch res, simply due to the fact that we're not putting as much stress or strain on the console itself. One of the other things I noticed is that my aim improved drastically. Now, this could likely be a placebo effect, I'm not denying it, but to be completely honest, once I started using stretch res on Fortnite, for console Fortnite rather, I noticed that my aim and accuracy increased like tenfold. It was unbelievable how much my accuracy increased simply by using this. And again, this could definitely be a placebo effect, but everything obviously appears wider on the screen, so it just in turn seems like it's a lot easier to land your shots on opponents. Another thing I noticed that improved drastically was my building and editing speed. This is probably also due to the fact of input delay response, believe it or not, because console in general has terrible input delay. If you've ever seen a PC player that plays on controller try to switch to console to see how it is, they can no longer do the high ground retakes, their 90s are all messed up, and again, this is all due to the fact that the input delay is terrible. So when using stretch res, again, input delay time is increased drastically. So when you go to build and edit, you'll likely see that you're making nowhere near as many errors as you would previously, so you'll be able to edit and build a lot faster and obviously more accurately as well. So those 3 to 4 things were the main things that I noticed in regards to benefits and an increase in game performance on Fortnite when using stretch resolution. So once you guys use stretch resolution on console, hopefully you will also notice these advantages and benefits as well. In fact, a lot of my previous videos on stretch resolution, the comments are flooded with people saying all the advantages that they received and how honestly it actually made them a lot better of a player, once of course they did get over the quality loss. Anyways, that's probably going to be it for today's video, guys. If you did enjoy it, a like would be very much appreciated. And of course, on the contrary, if you genuinely disliked today's video, then by all means feel free to leave a dislike as well. And of course, if you're new around here and would like to see more daily Fortnite content like this in the future, feel free to subscribe as well as turning on those post notifications. Nonetheless, my name is Gamertag, and I'll see you tomorrow. Adios.